Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host.
I'm the co-host, Caliban, and the noob, and I got my skates waxed up, ready to go.
All right.
Is that the thing?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. I'll know by the end.
And we're a couple of magical people ready to Moon Prism power make up this episode. Sailor Noob is brought to you by Dorothy Hamill's Bowl Cut. Today we are talking about episode number 39, Yoma Topea, Hyojo no Jo Mako-chan in Japanese, paired with a monster, Mako the Ice Skating Queen, the English translation, and the English title, Ice Princess.
Okay.
I like how she's like the skating queen, and then the English title is like, we'll demote her to Ice Princess.
Like the Michelle Trachtenberg film? There's a film, a 2005 film called Ice Princess, isn't there?
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with this. So
I thought maybe a monster from Buffy followed her to that film, and then she was paired with a monster. I got that part from the title.
Cool.
Yoma something. So
yes, exactly.
It's a monster.
Yoma Topea. So
Peya?
Pair. Peya.
Is that a loan word?
Yeah, it's a loan word.
Japanese people do everything alone. They're like, what? Two people together? What's it called? All right. What do we call these the skinny at the top, fat on the bottom fruit then?
Well, but that's different, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Would you like to give us a brief breakdown of today's episode?
I guess. We're talking about ice skating today on the
Yes.
show, obviously, and being paired with a monster. And I don't know if people who are listening now and maybe weren't around or paying attention back then know how important ice skating was in the 90s. It was huge.
Yeah.
And some of the biggest parts of, I think people still care about the Olympics, but I don't know, we just had nothing else to do. We really cared about the Olympics back then. Mm-hmm. And so what the skaters were doing, I remember coming home from my job at McDonald's every night, in the, I guess it was the winter, and rushing home to see, Debbie What's-Her-Name, and then, of course, Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan, all
Kristi
skate against each
Yamaguchi,
other. And you had, grown men, taking action on who's going to get the gold and stuff like that. And, it's still a thing now, but just like everything else, people can get, you can get into anime now. We didn't have that back then.
Yes.
So everybody has more interest, but it's sort of leveled the population for all these things. So people who would have been into that are maybe into movies like Ice Princess or something like that.
Right.
So yeah, I just wanted to that's the culture that this was created in. So if you wonder why they're suddenly talking about ice skating and they're going to a rink and we find out that two of the sailors are gaga over ice skating, it seems like it comes out of nowhere. Like a lot of things in Sailor Moon, I guess, because they have to go around. Well, what do we do this week? But yeah, it was a legit thing to be into back then.
Yeah, absolutely. I was super into figure skating.
Although
too.
It still doesn't make any sense because they got slightly warmer clothes. There's no snow on the ground. I guess you can ice skate at any time, but it's not like this is connected to some Winter Olympics or something like that.
No, I think it is winter there, but yeah, it's.
Does it snow? It snows in Japan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I see some snow, your comment will be appropriate. In this episode, we open on the Tsukino household, and Usagi is watching an ice skating competition. It could be a competition. It could just be a show or an ice dancing show. We don't know if we hear that they have gold medals, and I think they say at some point they're Olympic. So we know that they are Olympic couples figure skaters.
Yes, I think they're gold medalists.
Yes, but there's gold medals in all kinds of competitions.
True.
But this is just a fun thing, it looks like. Mm-hmm. And she's watching that, having a good time. Isn't her boyfriend missing and evil? But I guess you got to take breaks.
Yeah. And
Minako is there because we just totally want to call out all the similarities and equivalencies between these two characters now, I guess. Why not? Going forward, are they supposed to be, they instantly became best friends or something? Or are we just doubling down on, you got one character that's kind of based on another character, and now those characters will just hang out, and their cats will hang out all the time, and you're like, it's just Sailor Duo now?
I mean...
You can't answer anything?
I can't say... How can I even begin to
All right,
unpack
well,
that?
it doesn't mean I can't ask the question.
Yes.
But they're there, and of course the aforementioned cats are there, and they're watching this pair, Janelin and Misha.
Yes.
They're their favorite ice skaters.
Yes.
We're just hearing about them now.
Yeah.
And of course, they are Olympic gold medalists, as we mentioned. And Usagi's getting really into it. She gets up, she tries to twirl herself, but she falls down and she crushes the cats. And, the typical. Artemis says maybe her interest in figure skating is a sign that she's serious about becoming the princess. And when I heard that, I was like, what are you trying to say here,
Yeah,
Artie?
right.
Now, I think it clears up a little bit, but at that point, I was like, wow, let's just see Johnny Weir bust through the wall and kick this cat back to the moon, And call his look tired. You know what I mean? Anyway, speaking of the moon, we cut there in a flashback to the Moon Kingdom, and the cats are sort of reminiscing, and we find out that ice skating was a favorite pastime
Yes.
in Silver Millennium.
Yes.
So I guess that's what he meant.
I think that's what he meant.
Watch your cat ass. And this also lends credence to my theory about the moon having an atmosphere, or at least some part of it, because
I think it would have
like the
to,
blue area
right?
of the moon, because you can't skate on water vapor. Water instantly boils on the moon. There's no pressure. There's no air pressure.
And there's some form of gravity, because otherwise they couldn't skate or walk around
freeze.
or anything.
It
Yeah.
would probably sublimate, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Also, did you notice that all the girls that are skating in the flashback, they all had a unique style, and I hope we're not doing their clothes later.
No, we're not.
But they were all thin, blonde, and white. Is that the genetics of the moon people? Are all moon people have elaborate hairstyles? So many questions you can't answer.
Yeah, right.
Serenity was really good at skating, though, I guess.
Yes.
And Usagi's like, I guess I'm just blessed with many talents.
Awkward laugh. It is like, oh my gosh.
Everyone's like, okay. We cut to the Dark Kingdom, where Kunzite is also watching the skating competition, and he's showing it on a screen for Beryl, and he's like, this is it. We're going to do another Wile E. Coyote plan here, and we're going to draw out Sailor Moon, because we also know that was a favorite pastime in the Moon Kingdom, I guess.
Yeah.
Fun fact, his first name is Wile, his middle initial is E. So if you were friends with the Coyote, he'd be Wile.
Wow, I never knew that. I always just ran them together like it was like Wile E, not Wile.
That's his full name, like
Coyote.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Wow, so you're saying his full name like you're
mad at him. A lot of old references today.
Yeah.
No, that would be like a Wileford Emmanuel Coyote. Get over here.
Right. Okay.
Did you buy another Acme thing off the internet? Kunzite says, I stake my honor this plan will work. But Endymion's like, I don't think it'll work. He's that one guy in the group that he has got no ideas for the project, but he's happy to tell you what's wrong with everybody else's ideas.
Yeah, that's accurate. I want to know, Beryl seems completely okay with them being at each other's throats. And maybe it's amusing to her, but, you would think she would want them to work together to get the job done.
She's a bad middle manager.
Right?
We've talked about this.
I know.
She fosters competition, and she thinks
does.
this will make them better.
Yes.
This will make them better.
Yeah.
I've got 3 dead employees, but this will make these 2 better. And they start an argument and an epaulet measuring contest, but Beryl's like, yeah, just do the plan, all right? Just get the crystal. Get down there.
Yeah.
On Earth, at a skating rink, we don't know which one yet. We'll find out soon. Janelin and Misha are practicing, and they're not having a good time. They're arguing about who's screwing up, and they're threatening to break up the pair. But Kunzite appears to them and says, you have a mission for the Dark Kingdom. And it's not clear. I'm assuming that we're meeting them pre-possessed, as we have met the other humans who are possessed.
Yes, I think that's what it is.
But you can tell they think it's weird that a guy from Poison is just floating above their rink.
That's a good thing that they think it's weird.
We cut outside. It's Tenban Ice Arena, which is a new skating rink in town. Always be wary of new buildings that pop up in the middle of town.
Right.
And it's like Tenban. What's Tenban?
So there are lots of different words for counters when you're counting things, items, people, places in Japanese. It's a huge part of learning the language. And ban is for ordinal numbers, as in ichiban, which means first place or number 1.
Okay.
So the number 10 in Japanese is ju, so it is juban Ice skating rink.
Oh, it's like...
So it's like the name, it's...
Okay.
You know...
That's kind of... I mean, it's clever, but it's like... Well, there's 9 better ice rinks in town.
Right.
This is the 10th place
This
one.
is the 10th one.
If you got nowhere else to go...
Right.
Try it out here.
Right.
Okay. It's weird.
It is weird.
Well, anyway, all the girls are there for this grand opening, and apparently to celebrate the opening, Janelin and Misha are offering skating lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Usagi and Minako are excited. The other girls, not so much.
No.
Ami's got her obligatory book, of course.
Yes.
The blonde girls reveal that groups of 5 get free admission, which, that's a weird discount. Like, if you're the Fantastic Four, and you hear that the local amusement park has a free 4-person group day, Arcade is going to try and kill you at that park, right? That's what's going to happen. And I guess that Minako is actually onto this plan, because she's like, that's kind of mysterious, isn't it? So why not check it out?
Right.
Let's go. And I tried to ignore it last episode, but apparently this bit with her and Ami is going to be a running thing, so now we have to cover it. I'm going to call this section of the show Miss Malaprop. Minako says, ask and it shall be answered. And Ami's like, I think it's like ask and you shall receive. And she's like, whatever. Is this like a localization bit or something?
I'm wondering if it's funnier in Japanese. So,
well, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Now, but I'm just saying like the fact, idioms travel they both travel and just originate in lots of places. And so, like, if the Japanese have a saying for, like, ask and you shall receive, which is biblical, is she trying to quote the Bible, or is she trying to quote the Japanese version of that? Or is that, like, that's something that Americans say all the time. So I'm going to try that, but I got it wrong because I'm not an American. I'm a Japanese girl.
I don't know the
Maybe
answer
we'll
to
learn
that.
the answer to that as we continue this dumb bit. Miss Malaprop. That was Miss Malaprop. The girls go inside. There's many, many girls there for lessons. Our team gets all suited up. And Usagi, she's having a little trouble getting ready. But forget that crap. Here comes Janelin and Misha. They're the real deal.
Yeah.
Everyone is going nuts.
Yes.
Seeing them do some very anime skating.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of those freeze frames that aren't freeze frames because there's all the speed lines going around them.
Right.
So they're either going very fast or very slow. Not very confusing.
I'm guessing fast, but yeah.
Uh-oh. Mako is getting that look again. And she sees Misha. This is the Dreamweaver moment. And she sees Misha and she's like, he looks just like him. Mm-hmm. I like this bit. But how far does this go?
I know, right?
She's going to leave the house one day. And she'll see the 55-year-old garbage man and be like, he smells just like him.
I know.
This is going to get her in trouble someday.
I know.
But anyway, back to the skating. Janelin and Misha hit the double triple axel. Everybody goes nuts. Janelin says, okay, everyone, let's start with the basics. Whoa, these girls over here, they seem really eager. Get out here. Mm-hmm. All the scouts go out on the ice, and Usagi's having real trouble.
Yeah.
And Mako's like, is this your first time skating? And, I think we can assume that it is. But
yes.
Usagi is like, I can do this. I was a master skater in the Moon Kingdom.
Yeah.
Say that a little louder, or we can all go home early. And apparently that can't be heard at the center of the rink. All the girls but Usagi are on the ice, and they're having a little trouble. Except, of course, Mako-chan, who is really good. Wow. She's probably like, actually, this is an adult skating costume, but I had to let the bust out. Yeah, but it works out pretty good. I have a question.
Yes.
Why is a clearly grown woman hanging around with these junior hires?
She's not a grown woman.
But I mean,
she's
like,
the same age.
I guess. Oh, wait. She's been in a lot of schools. Do you think she's like flunked ninth grade a bunch of times?
No,
Is she
I
a
don't
19-year-old
think
ninth grader?
No.
Is that what's going on here? Like in the high school comedy where there's the one guy in the football team's like shaving during the game, It's like, oh, well, that's Moose.
He's like a 3-time senior.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really don't think that's what's happening here.
In 7 years.
I could see how it could be comedic if it was, but yeah.
A decade of Moose. Well, Usagi's not going to be discouraged. She heads out on the rink, and she is not able to stay upright. Mako, however, is going all around and doing tricks, and Janelin and Misha take notice. And Artemis says, like, Jupiter was a skating champion on par with the princess. Mm-hmm. So, two things. One, I hate this retroactive continuity stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm not a huge
I guess
fan of
why would
either.
it come up that she was a skater? You wouldn't say that in an episode where you're trying to escape from the Starlight Tower or something, but it's just all this like additive, like, oh yeah, and also wasn't she good at that too? That just smacks of like not great writing. Look, we've run into this before. I'm willing to accept that Mako is just a natural at everything, but like, why does she have to like? She and Serenity were like neck and neck for the gold crystal medal on the moon or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
right.
All right, fine.
I'm not really thrilled with the idea too that like the only like they're almost saying like, well, of course she's good at it because she was good at it in her past life.
Yeah, why can't she be good as just a
like
19-year-old woman?
Yeah, stop.
Here's my other theory: is Usagi the right girl?
For what?
Is she the real Moon?
Yes,
I mean, she's a princess, but was she really Serenity? You know, was she that girl?
Yes.
Well, you say that with such confidence that you've spoiled that for me. Cool theory, though.
Hey,
just a theory.
Wow.
Everybody's impressed by Mako except for Usagi, who is still on her butt on the ice. She probably can't see it. And Misha slow claps for her. Nice. And Janelin's a little jealous. A little jealous of her. Later, I guess, we see, maybe they take a break. We see Janelin at a computer with a lot of screens. She's got an Ozymandias set up.
Yeah,
and
right.
she's comparing the girls' specs against data of the sailors, I guess, which actually isn't a bad idea.
Which I'm like, how did they get all of this? But yeah, cool.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
We've never seen them record any of this.
Nope.
But maybe it's all on the crystal ball. Her high-def crystal ball.
Yeah, right.
Kunzite appears and says, on the screen, and says, we'll find Sailor Moon by her agility and her athletic skills, which is a little weird when just 2 episodes ago they were trying to find her by relying on her being a clumsy oaf. But whatever.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
A little bit of continuity problems there,
Yeah,
but maybe Kunzite is not good at his job. That's my extra theory. I'm giving you 3 theories today. The third one is maybe he's not good at this.
Well, maybe he didn't relay, but she's supposed to be a good skater. So then she just assumes
He
that
knows
she has
that must
good
be true,
qualities.
I guess.
Yeah.
But off the ice, complete octopus on dry land.
Right.
Actually, they do pretty good.
Do they do okay on dry land?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They can do anything.
They're like Mako.
He asks Janelin, what do you got? So now I'm imagining a octopus in a custom bra. He says, what do you got? To Janelin, and Janelin says, I'm a gold medalist. I'll find her. Don't you worry. And she keeps computering, and she gets to Usagi, and she's like, it's not this one. Just eliminates Usagi right away. Back on the rink, Misha approaches Mako, and he says, let's skate. And she's into it.
Yeah.
And they take off, and he goes for a lift, but he can't get her up.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, go man, let's try this. And she lifts him up bodily over her head. And he's like, bakana, which means unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was my Japanese corner. I've been trying to learn Japanese. Janelin from anime. Janelin sees this in the computer room, and she's not happy. She announces over the intercom that lessons are over. And Mako goes to leave, but Misha tells her she's the best partner in the world. And she calls him Coach. As sexy sax music plays.
It's weird and gross. Yeah.
And she says coach.
Yeah.
She didn't say like senpai or anything like that.
No.
So you keep telling me that it's an older student, but boy, it kind of seems like it was a coach, doesn't it?
I don't know. It is becoming
this is getting
unclear.
Dark. This is dark.
Yeah.
Everybody's walking out of Tenban except for Mako and Usagi. Mako stayed behind for special lessons. Oh no, this is how it starts. Athlete A.
Oh my gosh.
Usagi, we don't know where she is. Nobody knows where she is. At that moment, the doors to the arena slam closed and metal shutters seal all the doors, and the girls are like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Inside, Usagi is sneaking around like a weirdo. She wants to get some coaching.
I wanted to see Usagi Hood return, but
Yeah,
that
it's a
has
little
not
bit of
happened.
that. There's a little...
Yeah.
Yeah. In the computer room, Janelin is still fuming over a video of Misha and Mako. She furiously punches her hand through one of the TV screens. Meanwhile, outside, Usagi's like, la, 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 just oblivious, just death next door.
Yeah.
And she runs into the door when Janelin opens the door to leave the room. Usagi gets up, recovers quickly, and she sees that the whole computer setup that Janelin has in there, and she sees the video of Mako.
Yes.
And why would she think that that's weird? But she has to, because we need to... The show's got to go forward.
Well,
but I would compare it to like when you split the party and the barbarian ends up in the room with all the magic secret documents. And he's like, rolls his knowledge, and it's like, he gets a 1. He's like, I keep for toilet paper. It's like, no, that's what we've been looking for this entire time.
That's the key to everything.
But she must have rolled okay because she's like, wait a minute, something's going on here.
Right. Why would they have this?
And
This
she
is
tears
weird.
out of the room, which
Yeah.
is good because it explodes right after she leaves.
Yeah, why
I'm glad
would
my
it
computer doesn't
explode?
explode when it gets a blue screen. Misha and Mako are skating, and I think he's lost the plot on the mission here a little bit.
A little bit.
Jalen runs out and says, I'll kill this amateur before I let her have you. And she starts to transform. Mako tries to shield Misha, but he pushes her back, and he's like, no, baby, I was just testing her to see if she's Sailor Moon, I swear.
Yeah, right.
And Jalen is not having it, and she grows like a cyberpunk belly dancer costume, and she's got like spikes or blades on her forearms and knees.
Yes,
And
I like the way you described it.
She immediately lunges at the pair and performs a triple axel kick, which is banned in competition, by the way. And she knocks Mako across the rink.
As it should be.
And Janelin's eyes are like kind of fuzzing out like a TV.
Yeah.
And she says, come to me, Misha. And then he takes her hand and he transforms into a Yoma as well. And his shirt like blows off.
Yeah.
But he grows like a double-breasted suit with a cape. It's kind of TM-ish, but it looks like
It
Darkwing
is.
Duck without the hat is what it looks like.
Kind of,
He becomes
yeah.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
And they both evil laugh in tandem. They're like,
Yes.
And they say, we're the best in the world.
Yeah.
I'm getting some boxy vibes off of these guys. I like them.
Little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They hit Mako with a combination jump attack, and they knock her down, tearing her costume. I have to imagine that didn't make it into the dub American version of this. Usagi sees this and transforms into Sailor Moon right there. Bam! She jumps down in the ice. She summons ice skates onto her boots. This is an amazing entrance. She hits the ice and falls on her ass. As predicted.
Yeah.
She can't even skate after transforming, it turns out. She was hoping she could.
Yes.
The Yoma, who is called Zoilingeller,
Yeah. We'll talk about
no
it.
time, and Misha hurls Janelin at Usagi for Death Spiral.
Yeah.
Looks really bad. But here skates Tuxedo Mask. He grabs Sailor Moon out of the way, and she's like, you saved me. And he's like, hold on. I just don't like dishonorable tactics. I'm going to knock these two out, and then I'll be back. I'm going to come back for that crystal.
Yes.
And the duo's like, please, Mr. Tuxedo Mask, stay out of this. And they attack with a double spin kick.
Yes.
But Tuxedo Mask throws Sailor Moon, and she spins in the air, and she comes down on one foot, and she's skating. She's skating.
Yeah.
Somebody threw her in a direction. She's skating. Kind of. And Misha and Janelin come in with double arm blades, but Tuxedo Mask is like, jump, you gotta jump. And Usagi pulls off a spinning jump, and they miss. And she's like, I'm amazing. But watch out, Zoilingeller comes back with a sit-spin kick.
Yes.
And knocks them both down. This duo's coming in for the kill. It looks bad. But did you forget about a 6-foot stack of Burly Grace? Because Shoe Cream Sundae fries both of them.
Yes.
They're down for the count. The other 3 sailors arrive. So does Kunzite. He's like, shame on you, Endymion.
Yeah.
Check this out. And he activates ice blasters on the ceiling.
I'm
Or maybe he's
guessing?
like supercharged the air conditioning system. Well, I mean, it's possible.
I guess.
Just the Dark Kingdom.
Yeah.
And they're going to freeze everybody, I guess. He calls it absolute zero ice hell.
Yeah, which is pretty
And
great.
he will just take the crystal from your frozen corpses. Again, we have a literal fire sailor, but that never comes up.
No, it does
Instead,
not.
there's like a big evil pimple in the ceiling,
Yeah.
which I never thought I'd say that.
No.
And it controls the ice blasters.
Yeah.
That's a new sentence in the world. And Tuxedo Mask throws his cane at it, pops it, and that stops the ice. But look out! Zoilingeller is ready to do it again, but Sailor Moon quickly gives them the Moon Healing Restoration, and they're back to their old weird selves.
Yes.
And Tuxedo Mask has disappeared. Later that night, the girls are worried that maybe Mako might be taking this kind of badly.
Yes.
But she's like, you guys, don't worry. I need to find a new... Oh, that guy's nose is just like the guy who broke my heart. Everybody, huge faceplant. That's the end.
I know. That's like, I mean, I was already thinking, okay, let's recount all of the people that we have seen that Mako has said remind her of her senpai who broke her heart. Craymaster Joe.
Mr. Joe.
Matoki. Misha.
Yep.
Now random guy at the end who has like short dark hair.
Yep.
None of them really look that much alike.
Yeah, I know there'll never be like a black guy or like on this show, but yeah, if she's like, he looks just like the guy.
I know, right?
What?
I know. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know what Mako's like, if she has a type, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if it's just like cute guys and she's just...
It's a bit, I like the bit.
You know what I mean? I like the bit too.
I like the bit.
It's funny.
But we can't do it for another 160 episodes. So I hope the bit evolves.
I hope it does too.
I know we're going to talk about ice skating, but at the beginning, in the sort of, well, this is what's going on this week. Usagi mentions Katarina Witt and Midori Ito, which are two skaters from the time as well.
Yes.
Who were both Olympic competitors and I think show dancers or ice dancers as well.
Yes.
And so that maybe people wouldn't get that, but maybe today if you said something like Mao Asada or Evgenia Medvedev, maybe that's the kind of thing that you'd be thinking of.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like of the times, like in the the late 80s, early 90s, they were really well-known, renowned figure skaters.
People probably listening to this show probably know, but in case they don't, if you go on YouTube and you Google Evgenia Medvedev and search for the 2017 ISU World Trophy event, she does a whole Sailor Moon bit, which is, and this is not,
it's amazing. This
is not official competition. You can, because she breaks like 6 rules, like in one thing. Like you can't take any parts of your costume off. You can't have crap on the ice. But yeah, it's really fun. And she was only 16. She was only 16 years old, which is incredible.
Yes.
But looking into that, not that she was 16, looking into her career, learned about Sailor Moon Prism on ice.
Oh, tell me more.
It is a skate show that was supposed to open this year in Japan.
Oh,
it was pushed back to next year. It was just next year.
Okay.
And it's going to star her as Usagi Tsukino.
That's amazing.
Sailor Moon. Also, other Japanese skaters and other European skaters, too. There's a big cast.
That's
and
so
it's going
cool.
to be a whole thing. Yeah, it is written or directed by Takuya Hiramitsu.
Okay.
Who has done many of the Sailor Moon musicals over the years.
Gotcha.
Going all the way back to the 90s.
Okay.
And Mitsuishi Kotono will be adding her voice to the show, too. She'll be the voice of Sailor Moon.
Oh, how cool. That's super neat.
So, yeah, thank God it was pushed back. We've got...
Yeah, right?
About 12 months to get to Japan. Because they're only going to do it for a couple weeks.
Yeah, of course. That's how they do their musicals, too.
Yeah.
You just, once you
do they sell DVDs then afterwards? Because just make money.
I don't know the answer to that.
It's not, I doubt she's not in the union, right?
Right.
Like this is, and nobody will ever see it again. So why not just,
I mean,
I'd buy
be
a
smart.
DVD of that.
Yeah, I would too.
Or Blu-ray or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well that's awesome.
Now, how they're going to do the cats? I don't know.
I don't know. The live action Sailor Moon, they just use stuffed animals.
I know, which it looks really cheap. But how does the cat skate? So is it just going to be like a 5-foot tall person in a furry costume?
Yeah, but
transform,
they walk
Sailor Moon.
But they walk around on their all fours, so you can't really do that and skate. So
I don't know. Some of these people, I was not preparing. I was not researching or cheating. But I did end up watching a couple skating videos before this, and some of the show skating is way more awesome than competition skating.
Okay, I can believe it.
Sorry, but they have all these rules, and anytime anybody does anything cool in competition skating, they outlaw it. So they outlawed the backflip, in the mid '90s.
Yeah,
which I don't know how much grace it really shows if that's what we're going for. So I guess and it's kind of dangerous. So I can understand why.
I think it's kind of dangerous.
But if you go to a show skate show, they're backflipping all over the place.
Oh, I can believe it.
And they've banned you have to do same holds or right holds. You can't do wrong holds. Wrong hold is hand to leg or something like that. So when you spin somebody around, you have to be holding each other's arms or hands. You can't flip somebody upside down and hold a leg or an arm.
Okay.
And that one thing that you see in everything where they grab the girl's legs and they're spinning her around, that's banned in competition, but they do it all the time in show skating. So I don't know.
Huh. Interesting.
I got more thoughts than I thought I would about ice skating. How would you describe Just Enough Trope? We are the Just Enough Trope podcast. I'm your host, Caliban, joined as always by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mikan Hana.
Oh no, does this mean they can hear all the things I yell at the TV during Downton Abbey?
Why did you do that?
How do you plead?
Let the game begin. Yeah, check these fresh moves. Oh!
Don't shoot man in face.
This isn't the Save Gotham fundraiser.
It's the Chill Family Reunion.
Master Yoda assigned a Padawan to this bold Jedi.
I believe it's pronounced Padawan.
Oh, Padawan, excuse me.
Hey, it's getting late. I think Ralph's going to want his motorcycle back.
Go jerk off the pictures of Dean Gray.
I am freaking getting old.
Yeah, I noticed the life clock was blinking in your hand.
Get out of here, Wilson. Go fight the Teen Titans or something.
I'm unkillable, not unwoundable.
You like Sailor Moon, right? Why don't you sail on his
Wow.
Just Enough Trope. News, reviews, and geek fondue. Every Monday on the Just Enough Trope podcast network.
Loving me never have a say. You so be sorry.
What? For Kyomiru, or Curiously Looking Around, when we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode, I thought we'd talk about ice skating, specifically figure skating in Japan. In 1804, cartographer and explorer Kondo Morishige produced a likeness of a reindeer towing an Ainu man on rudimentary skates. That being said, so skating was around, but Japan's figure skating as a sport was not introduced until the late 1800s. In February of 1877, during the Meiji period, which was from 1868 to 1912, American agricultural scientist William Penn Brooks was designated to operate as a foreign advisor throughout the colonization project for Hokkaido.
Why do we could just, we need shorthand on this show.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Jumped up white guy comes in and he's like, you want to learn to skate? Oh, skate? I'm the skate guy. You want to learn to skate?
I know.
Here we go.
I know.
I think I know where all of this is going.
Yeah,
but,
well.
give me what you got anyway.
Okay. And we did talk about this a little bit.
And those Ainu are pretty crafty. They got
Right?
skis, they got skates, they got it all figured out.
Right?
And then we got rid of them.
We did not get there are still some Ainu around, but it did not go well. They were not treated well.
We did talk about them on the show already, but
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little
we
bit.
should hit that again sometime.
Oh, definitely.
Anyway, go ahead.
But this is, of course, the colonization project for Hokkaido is referring to when Hokkaido officially became part of Japan, and Japan was trying to introduce and encourage agriculture to Hokkaido as well. Brooks was assigned to be a teacher at the Sapporo Agricultural College, or SAC, in Japan. Brooks astonished locals by ice skating on a frozen creek at SAC. Many of the Japanese people who saw him were surprised as they had never seen ice skates before, let alone somebody actually skating with them. During the decades that followed, skaters from both America and Germany came to Japan and passed on skating knowledge to high school and college students, and the sport began to become more popular. Kind of similar to skiing a little bit, like we get a sport, or what?
The hula hoop.
Or the hula hoop.
You get the kids in.
Right, exactly.
And then they'll give it to their kids.
Right, exactly. A translated version of one of George Henry Brown's books also became very popular in Japan during this time. Either a skating primer or a handbook of figure skating arranged for use on the ice, which has over 600 illustrations and diagrams.
Oh, okay, that sounds useful.
Right.
They don't have Hans Christian Andersen?
He had an ice skating book?
Hans Brinker.
Oh.
And the Silver Skates.
Okay.
They
might, but
that
that
wasn't
might...
Hans Christian Andersen. That was somebody else. But
okay.
Anyway.
I wonder how much that would actually teach you to skate, though.
Not at all. But when some jumped up white guys like, check this out.
Right.
Okay, yeah, we heard about that. My kid was reading that.
Japan's first ice skating rink opened in Sendai.
I hate to stop you. I'm so sorry. But that book is Dutch.
Yeah.
The Dutch were holding on them.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, anyway.
So it's okay. But that book was considered to be it's very historical and helped to popularized ice skating all over the world, has been translated into lots of different languages. Japan's first ice skating rink opened in Sendai, Japan, which is in Miyagi Prefecture in the northern part of Honshu, sometime in the earliest 20th century. In the early 1920s, coordinated Japanese skating clubs started to form, but the teachers depended more on these translated ice skating books than their own experience, which is a little odd, I feel like, in some ways. But
You learned to skate from a book.
Yeah.
I learned to skate from life. It's like the cutting edge, right?
Oh my gosh, I loved that movie.
Yeah. How do you say toe pick in Japanese?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
I could Japaneseify it, like
No.
to
Please.
piku or something
don't.
like that. Yeah, all right. In 1931, Japan's Kuomintang army seized Manchuria and set up a puppet state called Manchuko, or the Manchurian state. Their occupation continued until the end of World War II, and it could very well be during this era that Japanese skating blossomed. In 1932, the Manchuko National Physical Education Association was started to encourage sports in Manchuko. In William M. Tsui's book, A Companion to Japanese History, he says that, quote, Kobayashi Hideo hints at the role of Manchuria, for example, in popularizing ice skating in Japan and nurturing some of the nation's early international competitors, end quote.
So let's dig into that. Lakes? More lakes? What? Why?
I'm not exactly sure why.
Except for
honestly.
a essentially dictatorial regime going, all right, forget the stretching. You're going to do this now, and basically commanding people to do it. Like, was the terrain any different? How was it? Why would it explode there? It's so weird.
That is an excellent question, and I tried looking into it more, but I couldn't find any more information about it. I should have looked to see if there were more lakes just around there.
Or it doesn't have. Well, I mean, it's still coastal, and maritime, so it would be warm still and temperate, but maybe lakes freeze more or something like that, or I don't know. I just think it's weird that it's.
I think it's weird too.
The one good thing that came out of the Manchurian
right, exactly.
Kristi Yamaguchi.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
The Japan Skating Federation was formed in 1929 to work as a ruling body for both figure and speed skating. The first All-Japan Figure Skating Championships were held through the 1929-1930 season in Nikko, Japan, which is 140 kilometers north of Tokyo. 1932 was the first year Japan sent figure skaters to the Winter Olympics and the World Championships. In Maribel Venison Owens' 1938 Primer of the Figure Skating book, which argued for the written instruction in teaching figure skating, there that is again, the USFSA president and former U.S. ice dance champion Joseph Savage wrote, quote, that figure skaters can learn in this manner was ably demonstrated by the Japanese 1932 Olympic figure skating team, who had to learn skating from the written word, end quote. So,
well, they had coaches.
Yeah, exactly. They had coaches,
who
but
also learned from
the written word. So
yeah,
it's just like,
so you go left, right, then you I think you put your arms in your chest, and it looks like, I don't know, just have fun with it. Just get up there.
Right. Well, this diagram looks like this, so I'll just put my body this
hospital
way.
nearby.
Right.
It's just no connection. Just curious.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah, I think you just flip over and give it a shot. See figure B? Let's do that.
Just trial and error. It's fine.
I joke, but I was watching the Sailor Moon performance today, and she's doing triple axels and stuff like that. And it's like, how do you even learn? How do you begin to learn? I guess
that
you
is
do
an excellent
one
question.
axle.
Yeah.
And then you do
I know, right?
2 axles. And do they sell butt pads that you can wear to slip on over your yoga pants or something?
I think I tried to skate maybe 1, 2, 3 times.
Ooh, well, here we go.
I was horrible at it.
I've never ice skated.
Would you like to?
I don't. I think it's too late for me, right?
Well, I mean, you're not going to be in
But
any
of all-
competitions or anything.
I've done
but you can do
every
it for fun.
living in a winter. What? No, I don't have fun. That's what I'm trying to say. It's too late. Living in a northern state and living on a lake, no less. I've done every winter thing that you can do, and I don't think I've ever. I don't know. I might have put them on once when I was very young. I feel like I had a pair, but I've never ice skated. No, I've roller skated probably 1,000 miles in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's not too different, I feel like I could probably figure it out.
Well, you've rollerbladed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I've just never done it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's for girls. That's why.
Not for girls.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I don't know. And that always kind of, I don't know. I always wondered why that was so. I have a lot of friends that played hockey, love hockey.
Yeah.
I loved hockey until we lost our hockey team.
Never.
We have a new one, but it's
I know.
not the same.
Never wanted to take a date figure skating.
Oh, I've gone figure skating?
Well, I guess it's not figure skating.
No illegal holds now, her father said. No, I've gone roller skating for dates.
Sure,
but
yeah.
No, just never done it.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't know. I was horrible at it, but I'm not very athletic.
I feel like maybe there's a dearth of access because you'd think, oh, it's the land of 10,000 lakes that you can, skate anywhere. And I did live on a lake.
Right.
But it's not like we have, in places where there aren't a lot of lakes or where it's warmer, you can go to the mall or you can go to the rink or whatever. Like we see in Rocky, he takes her on a skating date. Remember?
Yes.
And you can, and it's easy. It's commodified. It's like bowling or like roller skating. They got the shoes. They got everything.
Right. You can rent stuff.
But there's so many places to skate here. It's really tough to skate. Like you would have to go to a place, bring that person. You don't know if the ice is smooth because it's just a natural lake.
Right.
I hope they have skates. It's like almost more difficult in a way.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Absolutely.
Take snowmobiling instead.
I've never been snowmobiling before.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Of course, you've done every winter sport besides figure skating. So, in 1936, Etsuko Inada was the first female Japanese skater to compete internationally when she participated at the European Championships, the Olympic Games, and the World Championships, and placed in the top 10 at all three. At 12 years old, she was the youngest and the smallest of all the contenders at the 1936 Winter Olympics in Berlin. She was also apparently really popular with the other contenders. Ice skating became very popular in Japan in the 1980s due to the figure skating legend, in quotes, Midori Ito. Ito won the 1989 World Skating Championships and the silver medal in the 1992 Olympics. This is the same year that American Kristi Yamaguchi won the gold medal. Ito was the first woman to complete a triple jump combination and a triple axel in competition.
Okay.
Kristi Yamaguchi also was a two-time world champion in 1991 and 1992. Yamaguchi is a sansei, a third-generation descendant of Japanese immigrants. Yes.
Nisei Sansei.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Sansei.
Sansei.
Yes. Interestingly enough, her paternal grandparents and maternal great-grandparents emigrated to the United States from Japan, originating from Wakayama Prefecture in the Kansai region of Honshu and the Saga Prefecture in the northern part of Kyushu. Yamaguchi's grandparents were sent to a Japanese internment camp during World War II.
That started so fun.
Yeah, where her mother was born there, actually. And her maternal grandfather was in the U.S. Army and fought in France and Germany during World War II. Throughout the time, his family was interned at the Heart Mountain and Amachi camps.
Yeah.
Going back to Midori Ito, she, of course, as you mentioned earlier, is one of the two people who Usagi mentions in the opening who are her favorite skaters.
Right.
The other is Katarina Witt, or is it Witt? You know?
I always thought it was Witt. But,
maybe it's Witt.
yeah.
I think maybe it is Witt. She's German, so.
Yeah.
She is a two-time German Olympic gold medalist in ladies singles figure skating. She won in 1984, which was technically for East Germany.
Right.
And in 1988, she is also a 4-time world champion and has won many other competitions as well.
Yeah, she's really good.
Very well decorated skater.
And she was in one of my favorite movies, Ronin.
She was in Ronin?
She's the ice skater in Ronin.
Oh, I think I knew that, but I didn't make the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's a good movie. That's a great movie. And
And it's Japanese.
yeah, you're right. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Ronin
Not
is
really.
is a
I don't think there's any Japanese people in it. But.
no, it is it refers to a samurai who no longer has a master, and
A lord.
right? And so he kind of has to wander around and everything, and that's also what they call we covered this already.
Yes.
People who are trying to get into college, but they fail and they take a year off and
Right.
continue to try. They're also called Ronin.
Right. Get a sword.
Right. You go to that entrance exam and you just shred it to pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps an even bigger Japanese figure skating star than Midori Ito is 25-year-old Yuzuru Hanyu. Hanyu is a 2-time men's single figure skating Olympic gold medalist and won in both 2014 and 2018. He is also a 2-time world champion and won in 2014 and 2017 and has won many other competitions as well. After winning the 2020 Four Continents Championships, which was in February, Hanyu became the first and only male single skater to attain a super slam, which is when a figure skater wins.
I think Zoilingeller did that, right? The Super Slam.
Yeah, right. That would seem appropriate with them. It's when a figure skater wins both major junior level international competitions and all 4 major senior level international competitions at any stage throughout the course of their ice skating career.
Sure.
Hanyu is considered one of, if not the best figure skater of all time. Hanyu has shattered world records 19 times, the most times amongst single skaters since the ISU judging system was introduced in 2004. He holds the current world record for the short program for men's, and he is the first man to have shattered the 100-point barrier in the men's short program, the 200-point barrier in the men's free skating, and the 300-point barrier in the merged total score.
From reading it out of a book to winning everything there is and
Seriously.
getting the Super Slam.
Yeah.
The story of Japanese. I watched that documentary.
Right? I actually read an article. There was somebody who is talking about how there are so many really great athletes that have come out of Japan throughout the years, and of course we didn't have time to talk about them all. For figure skating, that Japan really needs a figure skating Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I think they're onto something. I think they should totally do that.
What city would it be in? Is there a?
Well, that was it. Went on
home.
to like talk about that.
It'd be in Manchuria.
Well, I think that wow.
The Sino-Japanese Skating Hall of Fame. Michelle with special appearance by Michelle Kwan.
Right. I think that Sendai, who had the first ice skating rink in Japan, and
that would be that'd be the Ichiban.
Right.
Not the Juban.
Well, Hanyu is actually from there, and there was another really well known, I think fairly recent skater who's from there as well.
Okay.
And they're kind of known for ice skating, so I think they would want it there. Whether or not it actually ends up there, would be another question, but that would be my guess.
Okay.
Itadakimasu with Usagi. What did Usagi eat on this episode? There is no food in this episode yet again.
No.
So
she eats crap a bunch of times on the ice.
She eats ice. Yeah. My Heart is a Kaleidoscope, where we talk about the fashion in Sailor Moon. What the heck are they wearing? We start out with Misha's skating outfit, which is a white long sleeve button up shirt, black pants, and black ice skates. He has long platinum blonde wavy hair that falls over his left eye. I'm mentioning his hair because I'm also going to mention Janlin's hair.
Yeah. It's a pretty standard male costume,
Yeah,
right?
there's nothing really special about
and
it.
you have to have pants in, again, I don't know how I know all this, but you have to have pants in competition. Men have to wear pants.
Yeah. Yes.
Trousers.
Yes, exactly. Janlin's skating dress, I learned while I was researching this, the female figure skaters, their outfits are called skating dresses.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that was the correct term.
Even if they're a peasant top.
What? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird
I would have expected more sequins.
Yeah, right. She's wearing a purple corset, lace up in front. The fabric underneath the corset lacing is a light brown. There's off-white puffy sleeves that are tightened several inches below the shoulder and fan out into pointed-ended strips of white fabric. The skating dress also has fake fur around the collar, and the corset ties up there as well. Mm-hmm. The short skirt is a matching off-white with a matching purple embellishment border at the bottom and a thin white bow in the back. She is wearing a purple headband and white skates. Her hair is shaggy, short hairstyle and is bright pink on the top and platinum blonde underneath.
Yeah. She's punk rock.
She is kind of punk rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have a couple outfits in this episode. We have Usagi in her street clothes. She is wearing a light green sweatshirt with a light pink emblem box that has a single kanji on it. And I have to give a shout out to Cal, who helped me figure out
of the mouths of babes,
right, what the kanji is, because I didn't know the kanji, and I feel kind of dumb not guessing this in the first place, but the kanji means usagi or rabbit. It's for, the animal rabbit or bunny, which is what usagi's name means. Usagi is not a Japanese girl's name. It might be now because of the show, but it not traditional.
Arya and
right
and Usagi,
right, exactly.
Sansa,
and then her name is also written above the box in Romanji. And she is also wearing...
So it's like Usagi brand.
Right, it's like Usagi. Yeah, right. She is also wearing a white button-up shirt underneath, a short red skirt, and white socks. Later, she is wearing a light purple jacket with lapels, gold buttons down the front, and on her wrists, pockets, a hood, and it is cinched at the waist. She is also wearing purple shoes, which in some scenes looked like they were tennis shoes, and in other scenes looked more like loafers, so I'm not really sure exactly what they are. The top kind of like sole part was like a lighter purple than the rest of the shoe.
Okay.
So, Minako's street clothes, she is wearing an aqua long sleeve turtleneck shirt, a red vest with lapels and button down the front, a light brown shorts and aqua socks. Later, she is wearing a structured blue jean jacket, a light pink scarf, and light brown ankle boots. Ami is wearing an aqua turtleneck shirt, a long sleeve light brown button up lightweight V-neck jacket, a red lightweight winter jacket with large red buttons down the front, and a long black skirt, a large red brooch at the base of her turtleneck, and black ankle boots. Ray's street clothes. So this outfit is very similar to the one that Ray wore in episode 21, which was about the anime Studio Dive.
Yeah.
But the overalls have a slightly different style. The embellishment on the front of these overalls have white ribbing around the top and the large pocket on the chest. And she's also wearing a white long sleeve shirt. Otherwise, the outfit is pretty much exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Mako is wearing a light yellow slight turtleneck shirt, a short form-fitting dark green dress with inch-thick straps that cross and attach in the back with gold buttons. There's also a zipper running down the front of the dress and a pocket on each side of the zipper. She's also wearing light green tights and dark green ankle boots. And now the scouts' skating dresses. I almost said sailor outfits.
Well, it's not too dissimilar.
I know, right? Especially Ray's. So Ray is wearing a long sleeve light yellow skating dress that has a V-neck, a bright red large bow at the top collar and front, and a red trim around the skirt. Her skirt looks very similar to the skirts for the Sailor Senshi outfits. The back of her dress is kind of low cut. Ami's skating dress is a light blue and a turquoise. Most of the bodice is turquoise and almost looks like a halter top. This part of the dress has a slight sweetheart neckline that has straps that tie around her neck in a bow.
Do they just own the? Oh, these are. Let me get that out of mothballs. My skating costume, like
they must. They have an outfit for everything. They all had like skiing outfits too.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, could just be winter jackets and,
quick, I'll run back to Hikari Temple. Grandpa, where's my skating costume?
I know. I don't know. It's yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you called it sailor privilege.
Whoa.
But, I don't know. Maybe the animators just like drawing fun clothes for them, so we can just go with that.
Yeah, that's
instead.
probably what it is.
That's more fun.
Unless there's too many of them, like when you first get to the rink, and they're just having fun. There's like, here's 20 girls with different hairstyles and clothes and costumes, and then at one point we just pan across a bunch of girls, and it's like red, green, blue, all the same one.
Yeah, pretty much.
We ran out of time.
Yeah, this is the best we can do. Deal with it. The rest of Ami's top is mostly light blue, has a turtleneck and long sleeves. There is a strip of turquoise fabric around her wrists, and there is more light blue fabric that fans out from this embellishment. The skirt is also light blue and has at least 2 layers and appears to be made out of a stiff, frilly fabric. Minako's skating dress is a long sleeve orange skating dress. At the collar and at the wrists is a dark blue ribbon that is woven in and out of the fabric, and it ties into a bow at her shoulders and at her wrists. The skirt wraps around and ties to the rest of the dress with a dark blue ribbon on her left hip.
They must have studied like skaters for this. They really got detailed.
They got detail, and their skirts all look different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't have like the same sort of like fabric or texture or style to them.
Right.
They're all different. Mako's skating dress is a long sleeve dark green skating dress. The skirt of the dress is very flowy. The dress also has a low cut back with 1/4 inch dark green fabric strips crisscrossing the open back 3 times.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's got the lacing like her shoes do when she's Sailor Jupiter. Yeah,
good point. Absolutely, she kind of likes that look, and of course it's green.
Right.
So that works too. And I guess the scouts all kind of like Ami's is blue. Minako's is orange. She kind of likes orange, even though she's got a bunch of different colors going on in her costume. And Ray has red. I mean, it's mostly yellow, but and then we see Usagi's skating dress, which is white and has a sweetheart neckline, puffy short white sleeves that fan out at the bottom, and 2 layers of ruffled fabric going around the sleeves at the top at the shoulder. The dress also has a puffy white skirt and with red fake fur around the bottom and a big red bow at the back. Attached to the dress is what looks like a pendant with a large red gemstone in the middle.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was.
That's what I was trying to figure out too, but what I think is it could be sequins and a gemstone embellishment just attached to the dress to like
or rhinestone.
Right. Yeah, right. To kind of like look like a necklace, that sort of thing, or a design. She is also wearing long light pink gloves that only attach at a single hole that goes around her middle fingers. The fabric goes over her hands in the shape of an upside down V.
Speaking of gemstones, Naru doesn't like ice skating?
I know.
That's the real tragedy of this new Minako Usagi love affair. The Naru's just sitting at home thinking about her dead boyfriend.
Well, I think, you get more and more scouts in, and then it's like,
that becomes
where's
the cast.
Naru? Yeah. And like Naru is around because she wasn't friends with any of these people before. And, Naru is her best friend. But she's still her best friend. Why isn't she around more?
It's hard. It's hard when you got two different circles, to make those friends all know each other and be friends as well.
I guess. But I just don't know, what's the hang up? Like, Ami and Mako go to the same school as they do. Why can't they all be friends?
Oh, no. The Sailor Clique.
Oh, no.
Sailor Clique.
I don't like it.
On Wednesdays, we wear our costumes. We wear tiaras.
We have our transformation
Get in, loser.
pens.
We're fighting the Dark Kingdom.
Yeah, right. Now we're at a villain gauge where we rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. This week we have Misha and Jane Lin, a pair of figure skating Olympic gold medalists who turn into the Yoma duo Zoilingeller.
Good luck!
I know.
I love the fact, just to steal it from you a little bit, I love the fact that not only does no one know where this comes from, but they're not even sure how it's spelled.
I was just about to talk about that.
Somewhere there is a Sailor Moon script that that 2 actors had to read,
Yes.
and I guess you could see the kanji on that, or more likely the phonetic alphabet, which is boom.
The katakana.
Katakana.
Yeah, that's how you would katakana or hiragana, depending. But yeah.
All right. So anyway, but nobody knows what it is, and in between different dubs, like the ADV dub or the Viz dub, they don't even know how to spell it.
I know.
They're just winging it phonetically off of what these 2 characters are saying.
Yes.
No one has any idea what they're talking about.
I know. So let's unpack it, shall we?
Sure.
As you said, the correct Japanese pronunciation and romanization spelling of the Yoma duo's name is unknown among Japanese fans and even less so among the Western fans. Most translations write their name with a Z or Zoilingeller. I've seen Zoyrin space Geller, Geller, but some speculate that their name should be spelled and pronounced with a D or Doiringeller, so Doyrin space Geller.
Wow.
It has also been suggested that it should be spelled Zoilingeller, all one word, Zoringeraa.
Yeah.
And in the subtitled Viz version that we watched, it is spelled also one word, Zoilingeller, Zoilingeller.
Now you're the Romanji Whisperer. Is there anything that you could think of that this could be?
Well, I'm gonna get to that.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Excuse me for wanting to streamline things.
Just well, let me say this. Just going off of using Romanji, no.
But I mean, just like corruptions of something else.
No, absolutely not.
Because I looked through, I thought, great skating duos. I looked at the 25 top skating duos. None of their names were anything like what this is. It sounds kind of Germany.
Yes.
But Germany. Something is German.
Sure, it sounds
it's Germany.
German. Yeah.
it's also from Germany.
Yeah.
But nothing there. And yeah, I had no luck.
Yeah. So one other thing I wanted to mention just about the pronunciation and the spelling before we move on. The DVDs put out by ADV or AD Vision Incorporated, an American media company, used Zoilingeller, so Zoyrin space Jeller.
Oh, okay.
Although it's still debated, this seems to have become the most common spelling choice. That's what I'm seeing come up the most when you search for these guys.
Right.
So the only possible speculation on what their name means comes from the fan-run site, and I'm going to give him credit because he deserves it, is Tuxedo Unmasked, which is an awesome site. Mm-hmm. He proposes that their name is referring to Zoilingen, which is spelled Solingen, but is pronounced with both a Z in German and in Japanese.
Okay.
Which is a city in Germany that is called quote, City of Blades.
I think I had that on PS2.
Yeah. Zollingen is called this due to the city's long history of being a distinguished producer of exceptional swords, razors, scissors, and knives created by famous companies like Wusthof, DOVO, WKC, Zwilling, J.A. and Henckels, and many, many, many other companies.
Sure.
Calling the duo Zoilingeller might be alluding to the ice skates, or perhaps, this is my adding,
Their blades.
the blades on the duo's arms and Janlin's legs.
Well, here, a little Misha. That's for Tuxedo Unmasked.
Right?
Wow.
Another possibility.
Let's hire that guy.
I know, right? Another possibility that I saw mentioned somewhere was maybe it could be the duo's, a combination of the duo's surnames. Which are never mentioned.
We don't know them though.
No,
yeah.
we have no ideas. We have no way of knowing that.
Yeah. No, that's got me convinced.
Right?
Yeah.
Janlin is a reference to Janet Lin, an American Olympic figure skater.
Oh.
Janet won the 1972 Olympic bronze medal in ladies single figure skating. The 1972 Olympics were held in Sapporo,
Sure.
Hokkaido.
Sure.
It has been suggested by a fan that perhaps Misha may be a reference to John Misha Pekovic, an American Olympic figure skater in men's single figure skating, who was fifth in the 1972 Winter Sapporo Olympics.
Okay.
The same games that Janet Lin earned her bronze medal in.
So this is the same thing, same song, different hemisphere.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of people who were kids in 1972 who are now making a show. We're
I
like,
think
oh
that's
yeah,
what I
remember
think.
that one? Yeah,
right,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, but that takes a huge load off of my mind because I thought I was losing my mind.
No, you're not.
Trying to figure out what this was.
I know, right? It is unclear in this episode what nationality Janlin and Misha are. However, it is pretty apparent that they are not supposed to be from Japan.
Right.
So I don't think that that's necessarily important. But Janlin transforms into her Yoma, and she has bright pink hair. Her bright pink hair turns platinum blonde, and her platinum blonde hair turns purple. Her pupils turn from light blue to bright red, and her skin turns the shade of white snow.
Yes. Or
when,
ice.
Yes, right. When she opens her mouth, it is a bright pink inside. There is like one still of like her and
her
Misha,
uvula is a lightning bolt.
and like his mouth when he opened it was like, I think it was bright green.
Okay.
So that's why I decided to include that. Her outfit consists of a bright red top, which is a thick strip of fabric that runs around her chest over her breasts with a gap between her cleavage. Two large aqua buttons are on either side of this gap with small strips of gold fabric running horizontally across, connecting the buttons. 2-inch thick red straps connecting at either side of the top and connect to another inch thick strap of fabric that goes around her neck.
Yeah.
She is wearing a bright red bikini bottom and a long white skirt with a split all the way up her left leg where it is tied at her hip with 2 aqua balls.
Yeah, it's more like a loincloth almost. And I know that this word is under review right now, but like Slave Leia is the sort of impression that I got from it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I don't know why. It's not like Misha's outfit is any
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah. Yeah, right. There you go. Slave Leia and Darkwing Duck. Zoilingeller. There you go.
Yeah.
The skirt has a gold trim all the way around the waist. She is also wearing a red headband that has 2 large aqua spheres on either end. It looks almost like headphones.
Yeah,
and
that's the cyberpunky kind of part of it.
Yeah, right.
Cyberpunk.
No, exactly.
And she's got like antennas that come out the back or something.
They actually come out of the bottom of the aquaspheres, and then they curve up on either side. It's weird.
Okay.
I almost wanted to call them antennas, but they're not coming out of her head. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of what they reminded me of. She is wearing long, bright red gloves, and the fabric goes over and covers only her middle fingers. She also has a single spike or blade, however, depending on how you want to look at it, on her gloves just above the elbows that can extend to attack. She also has a single spike or blade on the back of both of her lower legs, just underneath her knee.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't know how those attach or where they come out of. But,
I don't either.
But they're there.
Yeah, and they point upwards.
Yeah. Which I feel like your thighs would be cut to ribbons.
Right?
But, yeah.
Yeah, probably like hurt herself a lot, but better not fall. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
She has bright red skates that have a gold crisscross design on the top of the skates, which are fastened with 2 aqua buttons. And then Misha has his platinum blonde hair turns light green, his pupils turn from dark green to light brown, and his skin turns to the same shade of white snow or ice.
Right.
He is wearing a purplish, bluish button-up shirt with a very large popped collar. He is also wearing a black long-sleeve jacket with 2 gold buttons towards the bottom on either side of the jacket, with black fabric running horizontally across, connecting the buttons, kind of mimicking Janlin's top.
Yeah.
Or Janlin's top. He is also wearing a black slacks, black skates, and a long black cape lined with red fabric with a large split going up the middle. And it's fastened around his neck with 2 large gold buttons on the left side of his chest, matching the look of his buttons and his jacket.
Yeah, it's pretty bulky to skate in. You know, I figure like if this isn't a competition, yeah, you would throw this off a third of the way into your thing, and then have something underneath.
Yeah.
Just a cummerbund, no shirt and a tie. And be like,
right?
Woo! Clap, clap, clap.
Of course, it is also later revealed that he has at least 1 spike or blade on at least one of his arms that comes through his jacket sleeve above the elbow and extends to attack.
Yeah.
Just like Janlin. Or Janlin. So, yeah. I like that a lot of their attacks are kind of like takes on ice skating moves.
Yeah.
Janelin, when she's jealous, attacks both Mako and Misha with a triple axel kick.
Right.
And I love what they say when they're after they both transformed and everything, we are amazing, we're the best pair in the world, together we are Zoilingeller, and then now that you've seen us, we can't let you live.
Yeah. I don't know why now they've got a secret identity, I guess.
Yeah.
So
good point. It's
not
like a Yoma before has ever said that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Why is that necessary?
But,
so
anyway. You must die.
Of course, and then they hit Mako with a combination jump attack, elbows and blades out, which rips her skating dress in 4 different places, and she flies from the skating rink into the stands where she hits the wall before the stadium seating starts and is knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get the extended blades on the arms and, great lines like in unison. I love that they talk in unison.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon, prepare to die, and like, I like how they do a death spiral, and Misha says death and Jane Lynn says spiral.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool too.
Yeah, they're a team.
Yeah.
They're the greatest team.
And I like that that they aren't afraid of Tuxedo Mask and or Master Endymion as they call him, and Jane Lynn says, "We won't show mercy, not even to you." So that's whoa.
They're gold medalists.
We haven't seen that before. Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then they get them both with a double spin kick. So I do like the overall design, and I like that Zoilingeller taunts everyone in unison, and their attacks are figure skating moves. I think I have already covered that, but I think they could have even gone further with that and been more creative with like the ice skating moves.
That's pretty creative,
I guess.
You wanted him to grab her by the legs and
I don't know,
and hit people with her head.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's got kind of a helmet on.
Again, I like that they're not afraid to attack or cross Endymion. But they're not necessarily as effective as attacking our heroes as some of the other Yoma have been, so I'm going to give them 3 out of 5 Dark Stars.
Okay. I thought this was really solid. I like that they scream out their move names.
Yes.
Which is, just an anime thing, but it's also fun for people who are familiar with skating moves. Also, I like the fact that there's kind of a conflict between them. You can only really have that when you've got a pair, of Yoma, but it just gives it a little depth, and it's also informed. We're kind of learning that, the people who become Yoma are transformed into Yoma by Kunzite. Like, they're still themselves. They're not like Bumbo. Like, they're just kind of evil themselves, So you've got like a real capable go-getting ski instructor and former ski champion who's like, I'm going to get these girls.
Right.
And I'm going to use all my skills to do it.
Yes.
And so in this case, they're doing that as well, but also I like how there's a rift in the team, but then it's healed through evil. Like, they're like, murder brings us together. That's what Captain and Tennille said. So I like that. They got a lot of style. I give them a 9.5. Wait a minute. I give them a 4.
Okay.
Thought they were really strong.
All right. Sounds good. For Subu or Dubu, where we talk about the differences between the sub and the dub. In the dub, Misha has the same name, but Janelin's name was changed to Janelle. In the dub, the pair were not given a collective name. In the dub, after Mako is kicked by Zoilingeller, the part where she flies in the air and hits the wall is cut. But we do see her costume shredded later, so I don't really. Yeah, they didn't
even underboob.
Well, you don't really see underboob.
Freeze frame it.
So I'm not exactly sure why it was cut. Maybe just because they thought it was extra violence against their heroes. I don't know.
We don't want kids to go to a skating rink.
Yeah, right?
Then transform into weirdos and then throw one of their friends into the wall after ripping their shirt to an indecent degree.
Yes. In the dub, when Misha and Janelin are healed from being Yoma, they don't scream.
Refresh?
Well, they actually,
they scream when they get hit with the Supreme Thunder.
Yeah,
they're like,
they actually in the original they actually scream and then they say refresh when they're healed.
Oh yeah, I guess they do.
Yeah, so
refresh. This healing is hurting. It burns.
Yeah, so that actually is it. There weren't a lot of changes this episode for some reason. Mm-hmm. So now we're up to where we rate the episode and give our English or Deke titles. I love a Mako episode. After all, she is my favorite senshi, and I like that we get to see her excel at figure skating. That being said, I know. I really wanted to see her be more involved during the fight scene. I really would have liked to have seen more from her than, one move. I'm glad we at least got that. But
she was double-teamed.
Yeah, I know. But not a whole lot else happens in this episode, so I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 roses.
All right. I think this is a return to somewhat quality after the last couple things. It's still one that really has no consequence. That we finally have the 4th Great Lord, in charge, and I'm not sure that this guy is very good at what he does. And he had a great introduction where he basically takes on all 4 sailors by himself and almost wins. And now he's down to what if we had a pile of birdseed that said free sailor birdseed? And so I don't really know what he's really anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But this is a good plot. There's a lot of, I don't know. I like it when there's trouble amongst the bad guys too. There's something to see.
Yeah, that's true.
And I like that. It's good to have a Mako showcase. And I like that Usagi is still trying to, I didn't even have a dumb bunny this week. I couldn't even I guess I would say 1. I couldn't even rate it. I thought that she was, totally on point, and she, so she can't skate, but she's ready to keep making it, trying to make it happen.
Skate at the end.
And somehow she can skate at the end.
Yeah.
I thought it was really solid, and I give it a 3.
Okay.
Not a 4.
Right.
It's just a return to solid. We can't be too effusive here.
Yeah, I almost gave it a 3. I
Well,
was
you didn't,
really
though.
close to giving it a 3.
It's-
So, yeah. So my English title is Look Out, Mako! The blades of love are false.
Look out. Gotta do it. The classic Look Out.
Yeah, I know.
That's the Japanese version of blues. Ice skating blues.
Yeah, I know. Couldn't do the blues, though.
You've seen Batman and Robin, right? So
Yeah.
I had a lot of options here. So I decided to get rid of all the ice puns. We'll just go with Later Skater.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, that's a good one.
But it would have been Ice Ice Baby. If I could do ice puns.
Next episode, we're talking about episode number 40. Mizumi no Densetsu Yokai, Usagi Kazoku no Kizuna in Japanese. The legendary lake yokai, the bond of Usagi's family, the English translation, and the English title, Last Resort.
Last resort.
Yes.
Last pension.
Yes.
Is it a literal resort? It's a pun. It has to be. Oh, you don't want to reveal anything for something that we literally
I'm not gonna say it.
have probably already watched.
Yeah.
Whenever this comes out. All right.
Well, that's our show for this week, and the Name of the Moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Skate or die.
プリンセス